Rabbi Elizabeth Bolton. I serve Orha Neshama, Ottawa's Reconstructionist community. And I stand in this place before the U.S. Embassy as a rabbi and as a queer woman to honor the memory of those killed in the United States of America while standing in witness and protesting injustice, and while working to protect citizens from violence in Charlottesville, Virginia. And also, I stand as a Jew and as a Canadian with my sisters and brothers of faith and with all who experience the endemic, embedded violence in this country towards marginalized and racialized people. I come from a tradition of prophets and protesters, rabbis, and rabble-rousers. And standing side by side with all of us, I declare in the tradition of prophets and protesters, rabbis and rabble-rousers, that in the face of those who hate Jews and hate black and brown people and hate queer people, we will not remain silent. Rabbi Abraham Isaac Cook said, "I don't speak because I have the power to speak. I speak because I don't have the power to remain silent."
Beautiful.
And Pastor Martin Niemöller said it as well in the phrase that many of us know in this famous message. First they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. And then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. From him, we have learned so powerfully that silence is consent, and we will not remain silent. We will not remain silent. We will not remain silent because we are each other's keepers.
That's right. That's right.
Because the liberation of some, the safety of some, the access of some is not adequate. If one of us is chained, none of us are free.
That's right.
So I've been asked in interviews, what's your strategy? What's your end game? What do you hope to accomplish with this gathering? This gathering is just another step, another junction along our relay towards building a society unbound from racism and anti-Semitism, unbound from homophobia and misogyny, unbound from disrespect for and desecration of the earth and all its bounty, unbound from all barriers that keep us from seeing the fundamental wholeness and holiness of each and every person.
Don't forget transphobia.
I've been asked in interviews, why in front of the American Embassy? What about these issues in Canada? What has happened in the U.S., in Charlottesville, Virginia, was not caused by the U.S. president. It has been enabled, empowered, and facilitated by the U.S. president. He has incited racism, violence, and sanctioned the forces of fascism in their full-throated expressions of anti-Semitic and racist hatred. The legacies of social and economic injustice, seeded by slavery and fed by racism, has been inherited by all Americans, all Canadians, and we call on all Americans, all Canadians, tous au Québec et au Canada, to reject racism and violence. From Saint-Croix, Quebec, to right here in Ottawa, where, as recently as this spring, vandalism of a mosque, a church led by a black minister, and several Jewish places of worship and study were targeted. What more evidence do we need?
Shame!
That the border itself is not a barrier to the spread of hate. And I want to convey warm wishes, blessings, and prayers from my friend and brother, Reverend Anthony Bailey, who could not be present with us here today, but who is with us here in part. We stand here beside this edifice to say, love does trump hate, love will trump hate, and love always trumps hate. La lutte continue.
Love trumps hate! 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 Love trumps hate!
The struggle continues. La lutte continue. We will mourn. We will sing. We will resist. We will speak truth to power. We will dance because it is right and it is just. Woo! The world rests on three things, say the rabbinic sages. Al shlosha devarim ha'olam kayam, al ha'emet ve'al hadin ve'al ha'shalom. Upon truth, upon justice, and upon peace. Thank you very much.